I'm here tonight on behalf of the conferences and schools that administer the playoff. I want to congratulate both of these fine teams for their effort tonight and all during the season. It's my honor to present the National Championship Trophy to Coach Ed Ogeron and the LSU Tigers, Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs, to Coach Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan Wolverines.
My dad owned a newspaper in our town, and so I had a job from when I was about 11 years old when I got a paper route. My best promotion was when my dad came to me and said, "The janitor has graduated from high school, and I'd like you to take over as janitor." My mom was a piano teacher. And we should have had a sign on our front of our house that said, "Piano given."
I think anyone who's ever been around Bill Hancock understands the importance of his family and how instrumental they've been in his career and in his life, and certainly Nikki's support of him.
I've always had a sense of Nikki's support for Bill throughout his career because she's always by his side, figuratively and literally.
We started dating when Nikki was a sophomore and I was a junior in high school.
When Bill and I were dating, when we were in high school, he was covering baseball. I would go sit with him, so I learned to keep score.
And that was it. End of story. End of looking around. We both met our soulmates.
Game 3 of the 20th and final Big 8 conference tournament. Next year it goes to the Big 12.
Big 8 was a family. And we had characters as coaches, we had characters as athletic directors. But for me, Chuck Ninus was commissioner, and I'd gotten to know Chuck when I worked in Oklahoma. And he called me and said, "The communications job here is open and I want you to come take it." I love my time at the Big 8. I spent 11 years there. But Tom Jernstedt, who was the tournament administrator at the NCAA, called me one day and he said, "Hey, they're going to let us hire a full-time director of the men's Final Four."
Puts it up. Yes!
I got to really enjoy those years, and our family got to go on the vacations that when the basketball committee would meet. It was a great time in our family life.
The Final Four had already been established as one of the great sporting events, championship events in the United States, but by the time he left, it had grown exponentially. Bill Hancock ran the Final Four for more than a decade, and then he transitioned to the BCS. I always got a kick out of the idea that while there is an office in Dallas or Irving for the college football playoff, Bill didn't spend all of his time there. He worked at his Prairie Village home, and while he did, that was the nerve center and the world headquarters for college football.
The conferences ran the BCS, and they together, all 10 of them, called me and said, "We're looking for a full-time staff member to do this." Immediately I said, "Yeah, absolutely. Where do I sign?"
The ability to grow the postseason in college football, specifically the expansion of a 12-team playoff, is a tribute to the strength of what's happening with the college football playoff at 4 teams, the BCS, the Bowl Coalition. Bill's been really the one point of connection through all of that change. And I think the stability and forward thinking that he's provided has helped establish the foundation for this new era. And that clearly is a tribute to his work.
Bill is probably, no, definitely the most accessible human being in the college athletic space.
His impact has been immeasurable. I would say the one thing I think of that characterizes Bill Hancock's career is that he's always the consummate gentleman. He always had time for people, and he treated everyone he was talking to as if they were the most important person in the entire operation at that moment in time. That's a gift. He's a kind man, a gentleman, and certainly someone that college football and college sports in general owe a great debt of gratitude toward.
I would tell somebody that Bill Hancock is the nicest person in the world, and I would probably go on and on for quite a while before I got to, well, he's also one of the most important people in the history of college athletics.